Sure. So Investorist is the world's first business-to-business off-the-plan property platform. So we connect property developers that are developing new build apartment projects with the agents, advisors and financial planners all over the globe that sell those projects. So I've been in off-the-plan property marketing for most of my career, certainly for the last 14 years. And in that time, I have developed a range of technology solutions for agents and for property developers to manage their inventory. They always have the same problems. How do I manage my stock availability? How do I meet the agents that can sell that stock? How do I maintain my documentation? So the issues were the same, and they kept recurring. And I thought to myself one day, hey, I know I can do something better. So there's a couple of things. The expansion has been caused because off-the-plan property, unlike existing property, is a very global commodity. Typically, you would have heard of lots of investors from Singapore investing in property in Australia and the United Kingdom. Well, this is a trend globally that occurs between China and the USA, South America and the USA, Australia and China, Australia and Singapore. So that because of the nature of our industry, we had to be global, and we had to be global day one. Why have we been so successful? Because there's been a huge market need for our product. So if you can remember trying to book a hotel room 15 years ago, you would call up your local travel agent and you would ask about hotel rooms in a certain area. They would probably give you some availability, but it would be very limited. After you've had time to digest, you might call the travel agent and realise that apartment that you wanted to stay in is no longer available. The room has been sold and you've got to stay in something down the road. So that is the off-the-plan property industry prior to Investorist, where there was no one central availability list and there was a lot of frustration, a lot of inefficiency. So it was a natural fit. Sure. America is probably the world's largest economy for property developments, and it's certainly one of the globe's largest inflow destination for residential investment. So it was a really clear fit for us. To put it in context, Australia builds about 150,000 dwellings a year, where in America they deliver 1.4 million dwellings a year. So the market potential was huge. Our prospects there. We've already started listing stock from the largest developers and project marketers in the country. So Severa in Miami have listed stock with us. D.R. Horton, the largest house and land builder, has listed their stock with us. So we're having huge acceptance from that market. We're really excited about the way America has welcomed us. Okay, so China is certainly our most important buy-side market, but clearly number two is Southeast Asia. Why it's so important is Singapore has always been a global finance hub. It's always been a nation of people that have invested heavily into Australia and the UK, but it's also a great access point to Malaysia. And Singapore's a really great place to do business. So at the moment we have partners in Singapore that we use to conduct our business operations, but we see Singapore as the place that we will likely set up a regional hub. We will likely set up proper business structures in Singapore and start to recruit teams there that include marketing, support and more salespeople. So since Singapore has been cooling, we've had a number of requests for developers to list on Investorist. At the moment, we have an international property tab or a global property tab where they can list their stock. However, over the coming months, we will start to break that down into a Southeast Asia tab and in particular a Singapore tab. We've had really strong interest from our members in China to start listing stock in Singapore, as well as members in Singapore saying, hey, we'd love to get better visibility on the new build stock that is available in Singapore. Investorist's goal is to become the world's off-the-plan property stock list, so have 100% stock availability. We're going really well towards that aim in Australia, the UK, and now starting in the US. So our goal over the next 2 to 3 years is just to continue to grow our marketplace, bring on as many sellers as possible and as many network partners as possible to be able to provide to our members the most live, most up-to-date product availability.